This is the hot potato poker time management system. We'll give you a quick overview of how the system works and how it will change live tournament poker forever. We want to put a clock system on every tournament table in Las Vegas, then the world. So a quick explanation of this shot clock system is, well, if you have ever played internet poker, this is a computer-aided shot clock similar to internet poker, but on a live table. It instantly moves from active player to active player. Once the player presses their action complete button, also known as the hot potato button, the system will automatically move to the next active player in the hand, skipping players that have previously folded. When the action comes to the active player, first the top LEDs will light, giving the player 15 free seconds before any time is deducted from their time. The dealer assists the computer via the control panel. The control panel may look complicated, but it is really simple, and any dealer will be able to operate easily with about 10 minutes of training. Because the computer does most of the work, it is much easier on the dealer than having to hit a timer on and off at every action, like the current antiquated shot clock used in high rollers. So let me give you a quick rundown of the dealer control panel. The Start button, self-explanatory, starts a new hand after the deal. It will start the countdown on the under the gun player position. The blue button is the After the Dealer button. It is used to start the active player's countdown that is first to act after the dealer button, so it would be pressed after the flop or after a re-raise. The Pause button stops all clock countdowns. It is used after a hand is complete and the dealer needs to shuffle and deal, or mid-hand when all bets are complete and the dealer needs to deal the flop, turn, or river. Also during breaks, and if there is a dispute that the dealer or floor needs to handle. The player skip switches. When a player folds or is away from the table, the skip switch is turned on to tell the computer to skip that player. Upon the next hand, the dealer turns off all skips and all players will be dealt into the next hand. The LCD screen tells the dealer that the computer recognizes the correct dealer button position. It also allows the dealer to select a specific player's clock to manually change the time of moved players to the time they had on the last table before the move. This rotary switch allows the dealer to adjust a moved player's time to the exact time they had on the last table. So when tables are balanced, in addition to having a seat card, they will also have a time recorded by the floor that will be given to the dealer so it can be entered. Typical during MTTs, tables will need to be balanced from time to time because of bust-outs, creating short-handed tables. For this example, let's say a player from a neighboring table is moved to seat 6. Along with a seat card, he has his time from the previous table written down. The dealer changes the time for seat 6 to 307 seconds. Now that the player has the correct time, they will be dealt into the next hand. The same way a moved player will have their previous table time recorded by the floor, the same process will happen at end-of-day bagging. In addition to a chip count on current bag slips, this system will also have players write their current time on their clocks, and that will be transferred to the new table the next day. These are time presets that the dealer uses every 2 hours at break time resets. Everyone gets a full reset during breaks for use during the next 2 hours of play. A 10-handed table will get 600 seconds, up to 1,000 seconds for a 6-handed table. They are key to prevent the dealer from accidentally pressing during movement of dealing over the control panel. Pretty simple, a start button, a pause button, and skip switches for folded players. Not complicated at all. Even newbie WSOP dealers could operate these. This is what the dealer will see on the control panel. Embedded into the table are proximity switches at each player's position. A decal tells the player where the prox switch is and where to place the dealer button. This gives the computer the starting locations of hands. As explained before, this is how the preset time switches operate. When players go to break, they come back to a full-time reset for the next 2 hours of play. A turn of the key, and all clocks are reset. quick and easy for the dealers to be ready to begin when players return. So this is a mock hand and how the dealer reacts to each action of the players. Dealer button in seat 1, seat 2, and 3 are the blinds. Imaginary cards are dealt. The dealer presses the start button, starting seat 4's 15-second free countdown. Seat 4 folds and presses the action complete button. The dealer turns on seat 4's skip switch. Seat 5 folds and presses the action complete button. The dealer turns on seat 5's skip switch. Seats 6, 7, and 8 also fold and the dealer follows along, skipping those seats for the rest of the hand. Seat 9 thinks for a few seconds and decides to raise. Seat 10 doesn't like their imaginary cards or the imaginary raise and also folds. The dealer turns on 10 seat skip. Seat 1 calls the raise in position with imaginary devious thoughts. The blinds both fold, and the dealer skips their seats. And if you're keeping up, it's a heads-up battle between seat 9, the raiser, and seat 1, the button. The dealer hits pause to deal the imaginary flop. The imaginary flop is out, and the dealer presses the blue after dealer button, which sends the action to the aggro out of position player in seat 9. 9 reaches for chips again, bets. Seat 1 calls. They didn't like the imaginary flop, but wants to see an imaginary turn, hoping their imaginary open-ender comes home. The pot is right, so the dealer deals the turn, then presses the after dealer button again. Seat 9 Maniac is getting worried and decides to check. Now back on my boy in seat 1, let him have it. No, you wish don't check. Dealer pauses to deal the river. River is out. Dealer presses the after dealer button a final time. Maniac says all you can eat. I know what my boy is going to do. My boy the tortoise folds and says, nice hand. The dealer would at this point turn off all skips, move the dealer button to seat 2, shuffle deal, and repeat starting with the green start button. That was an example of a hand of hold'em and how the dealer works the control panel and how the system computer follows the game. Ah, the money bubble. The biggest benefit of this system is the elimination of the money bubble and the stalling that goes along with it. Short players are going to do what short players do. They stall, well, no more.
Hand for hand. 484 players left. You can see the tournament clock has been paused. I don't know, bit too close for my liking. to pause it, I think, let another person bust. Because now everyone's really got a stall, like every hand.
At 6:18 of the live stream, the floor announces hand for hand. Over 5 hands and 37 minutes in real time, the bubble finally bursts at 6:55. Using this system, the bubble would have only taken 8 to 10 minutes of real time. Come on, poker community. The money bubble could happen right after a break and a full-time reset, but at 4 away from the money, the floor tells the dealers to reset all clocks to 150 seconds for the next 30 minutes of play. This gives very little room for stallers and evens out play across all tables. Hand in progress, the dealer hears all in and call. They immediately look up at the tournament clock and record the time on the dry erase board. Then they play out the hand. If the player busts, they are out in the correct order. The dealer simply announces a busted player and holds up the dry erase board. If the at-risk player survived, then the dealer erases the time and deals the next hand. No time is wasted. Here's an example of 4 all-ins happening at the same time. All 4 bust on different tables. The last all-in and call at 26:58 would be the first payout. From the Olympics to the Kentucky Derby, they all use time to award a winner. For poker, this is the fairest and most accurate way to ensure proper bust-outs. 27:19 was the bubble boy, a difference of only 21 seconds. This system ensures the correct order of elimination. Whether you are a poker room director looking to have this system installed, or an investor interested in being a part of bringing this system to Vegas and tournaments around the world, then contact me, Randy, at my personal email in the subject line, put hot potato, and I will give you more info. I will be coming to the WSOP in June if you will be in Vegas at that time and would like to have an in-person meeting, then let me know. Thanks for watching.